What is up, y'all? We are live at 5 for the Q&A live at 5. I'm sweaty, just got done with a run, drinking a Zevia Cola. I don't know where to look because I got the computer right here, the camera right there, the Instagram right here. But you know we're all here. How you doing, Crystal?
I'm fantastic.
Fantastic. So we're going to start with a lot of people ask me, and Crystal, and I forget who asked it last week, but the question was basically, do you need to change your training style at all when you first start a ketogenic diet?
Or when you go keto at all.
Yeah. So do you want to start? I started last week. You can start.
Sure. I'll start. Okay, so Robert's is probably going to be a lot more like technical. Maybe not.
Hello.
But anyways, in my personal opinion, I didn't really start doing a lot of exercise until after I went keto in the first place. I did not notice exhaustion or something like that. However, I didn't notice that at all, and I just kept going with the bodybuilding style of workouts from the very beginning. I always have done a decent. Poor connection.
Sorry, Denise. I don't know why we have poor connection. Hopefully it'll fix here soon.
Is anyone else having poor connection as well with us?
We got full signal here. All right, continue, babe.
All right, so I didn't actually notice a difference with myself changing or transitioning into a state of ketosis and my workouts. A lot of people say that you can't or shouldn't do higher volume lifting, or you can't put out as much energy in a shorter period of time, which is why a lot of people choose to do carb ups and things like that. However, I've never had any issue at all with the amount of energy that I am expending. I love supersetting things. Lately, I've been supersetting a jump rope in between my exercises and constantly keeping my heart rate up and going. So in my personal opinion, I think you should work out however the heck you want to, and don't think that your diet, unless your diet is poor, unless you're eating a bunch of processed foods, and unless you're eating McDonald's and junk every day, and maybe not having enough protein or enough energy source, then you're probably going to be screwed up. But if you're eating a proper amount of your energy source, if you're eating a proper amount of protein, you're probably going to be totally fine. And stop letting what people say, oh, you can't do this on keto. Oh, you can't do that on this. You can't do that. Stop letting them tell you what you can and can't do, and just prove them wrong. And do whatever the heck you want to do.
All right, guys.
And here he goes with more technical stuff.
Technical stuff. All right, so carbohydrates and glucose are very fast-burning fuel sources. So when you're doing very glycolytic exercises like CrossFit or some HIIT training or something like that, you're going to be able to replenish and tap into your stored glycogen much faster if you're eating a bunch of carbohydrates until you become keto adapted. So when you first switch over to keto, you're going to likely see a dip in performance, especially if you're doing very glycolytic demanding exercises. So a lot of people are of the mindset of, hey, if you're going to be doing that and you're trying to be keto, then you should probably switch your direction in training and do less glycolytic, less demanding, less intense, less high volume exercises like that until you're keto adapted. I am on the complete other side of the spectrum, and I say don't switch and manipulate your training. Do exactly what you would normally want to do and what you normally would do, what your forte in training is, and then adapt around that. The deeper you become adapted, the more efficient you're going to become at replenishing those glycogen stores. I mean, I've done CrossFit, I've done bodybuilding, I've done powerlifting, I've done HIIT, I've done boxing, I've done everything that I know to do, and I ran a marathon, and I did it all keto, okay? You don't have to change your training style just because you're keto. That's a very controversial topic. A lot of people build these programs out and saying this is like a keto-specific training routine. You don't have to do that, okay? Any sport, any activity, anything that you can do with carbs, you can also do, and not just do, but excel at with keto. The whole thing is you have to become deeply keto adapted in order to truly excel at that. If you're kind of like constantly going back and forth and like trying to split the difference and be carbs half the time and keto half the time, then you're not really going to have an efficient ability to tap into your fuel and do those very highly glycolytic demanding exercises with a utmost degree of efficiency. So I highly encourage you to just do whatever sport, whatever activity you enjoy, and give yourself the time to become deeply adapted. And you don't have to manipulate the training around your level of keto adaptation.
I would like to mention that, like I was saying before, don't let the people saying you can or can't do certain things decide for you what you're going to do. A lot of people tell you, like, you're going to get the keto flu. You're going to have a lack in energy when you very first start. You're going to have this. You're going to have that. That's very untrue. I didn't get the keto flu when I very first started, and I didn't have a dip in energy when I very first started. So I just want to say that, like, don't let that be a placebo for you feeling bad. Like, actually feel your body and let your body tell you what it's going to feel. Stop letting other people tell you what you're going to feel or how you're going to feel it, and when you're going to feel it. I feel like that's a lot of people let that stuff get to their head, and then they immediately feel that way, even though they really don't. They like convince themselves to feel a certain way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. All right, we got a good question here. What are your thoughts on taking enzymes that claim to help your body utilize all nutrients better and break down fats, carbs, and proteins? So I don't really ever take exogenous enzymes. Your body's pretty smart. It can produce the needed enzymes internally, endogenously. Now, you do want to make sure you're eating highly bioavailable food so that your body's able to assimilate, break down, and use that food more efficiently just throughout its natural processes. But if you're taking the right quality food and you don't have some kind of crazy imbalance, you shouldn't really have to take in exogenous enzymes. Does recovery time change when keto adapt? Yeah, I would say it cuts down tremendously for a couple different reasons. So a lot of the reason you're sore or you hit like a wall when you're training is because of a buildup of lactic acid. When you become more deeply keto adapted, your body creates MCT transporters. That's not to be confused with medium chain triglycerides. Totally different thing. MCT transporters. Those MCT transporters are like highways all throughout your body, throughout your cells, throughout your muscle, not throughout your cell, but throughout your muscle tissue, throughout all your fibers. And when those MCT transporters also help clear lactate. So when you become more deeply keto adapted, your ability to clear and flush lactate is much, much more improved from what it was prior. With that better efficiency in clearing lactate, you don't really hit a wall as easily when you're training, and you don't stay sore, and you recover faster. Also, you have more, there's less inflammation with keto. So like your joints improve better. You can train more frequently with less recovery time after your body adapts. You have that decrease in inflammation.
Is fasting necessary? I'm trying to learn how to eat more intuitively after doing intermittent fasting for over a year. Actually, Robert just did a really great video on fasting in particular, but fasting is not necessary. I actually had someone ask me this earlier today as well. They asked if I fast in general, and I don't intermittent fast, and I don't really extended fast. I don't ever really fast. I really like to be feasted. My body likes when I feast. And I do try to separate into meal times rather than snack times, but I don't fast on purpose. I fast when my body wants to fast and when I don't feel hungry. And maybe like once every 3 to 6 months, we'll do an extended fast or something like that to help for the like benefits. But it is not necessary, and you do not have to do it. If your body is telling you no and it doesn't feel good when you're fasting, you're probably not in a good place to be fasting.
How is Papa Savage doing with his diet? Also, I'm down to 176, and I'm ready to destroy my next show. Thank you, Savages. Awesome, Chris. Congrats on the progress. How is Papa Savage doing?
I haven't talked to him in a little bit. My family kind of did a gathering, so I was trying to just like let them do their thing until I bothered him. But I'll be calling him this week, and I'm hoping to do a little update for you guys on YouTube here coming up. You take HCl before meals?
No, I don't really take HCl. HCl is hydrochloric acid, for those of you that didn't know. It's basically stomach acid, for lack of a better analogy, but you can buy those in pills too. And a lot of people, like if they are not producing enough, then they'll take that, and there's benefit in that. But if you're not having any indigestion, if you're not having any GI distress, then you probably don't need the HCO. Hello, seeing some improvements in training, all on keto. I hope to wow y'all when we see each other again. Too bad this year's KetoCon was canceled.
I know.
Miss you. Yeah, I hate that it was canceled as well. But I am ready to be wowed, to keep training hard. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Vintage Girls, hello, my beautiful peeps. Just taking a break from tornado cleanup to pop in and say hi. Wait, to pop in and say, hope you are having an amazing week. You're looking exceptionally fantastic today. Well, thank you. I can't see you, but I'm sure you're looking exceptionally fantastic as well. And I'm sorry about all the tornado damage. It's not cool at all.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. All right, here we go. Robert Crystal, do all healthy fats the same provide the same amount of satiety and performance in the body, or do some function differently than others? So that's a really, really good question. There's all kinds of different fats, and they all kind of have a different purpose. Typically, I try and make my fat sources. I used to do a whole lot more monounsaturated fats, like from olive oil and avocado oil, and I've since not really done a whole lot of monos. I've done more saturated and fish oil, particularly like the EPA and DHA. As far as do they have a satiety, they all have the same satiety effect.
I honestly haven't played around with it too much. And I think it depends on per person, because there are some people who feel more satiated with a higher protein too. So like when they have a more protein dense meal, they'll feel more satiated. And a lot of other people are more satiated with fat. So I think it really depends on the individual. Maybe what's going on with their body.
Think of it like this. Let's say you have chicken breast, which is very lean, and then you put a bunch of olive oil on it, cook with it, and do like some kind of olive oil. I don't know how you would cook a bunch of olive oil with chicken. Let's just say you use a bunch of olive oil with your chicken. All right. Or you have a ribeye, which has got a lot of, built-in saturated fats from good quality sources if it's a good quality ribeye. So let's just say the protein are equal and the fat grams are equal. I would get a lot more satiety from that ribeye than I would the chicken with the same amount of fat in olive oil. And here's why. So when you have a lean protein and you just add a bunch of fat to it, that's not like ingrained in itself as much as like the beef with the built-in fat. And that built-in fat helps slow the digestion of that protein, which is going to provide a longer release of those nutrients, which is going to provide more satiety. So I personally would feel much more satiated from a protein source in which the protein and fat are kind of one and the same, and that they're together, like the ribeyes all fatty and protein in the same piece of meat, as opposed to a lean cut with added, olive oil or something like that.
And I prefer the opposite.
Yeah. But I don't think you would think it's more satiating.
No, I don't think it would be. I think it would be honestly more satiating to have the steak with the fat, simply because the olive oil is a liquid, and then if you're able to eat the fat on the steak, it's a lot more like dense and solid,
Yeah. Speaking of
steaks,
steaks,
I do like the other
I've been getting these ribeyes from like this local butcher, and they're like so good. Like the flavor is so good compared to like any steak you just buy at a supermarket. So good.
So good.
I'm about to have one, so that's why I'm getting excited.
Can't wait for the peanut butter cup keto brick. Yeah, if you guys don't know, we're doing a limited time peanut butter.
Nope.
What?
Chocolate peanut butter cup.
Sorry. Chocolate. You made me like have a mini heart attack that I was saying something. Woo! Okay. Chocolate peanut butter cup with 100% whey protein. It is like Brandon said it earlier, and he said it perfect. It's like as if the peanut butter brick and the chocolate malt brick had a baby.
Yeah, it tastes just like a Reese's peanut butter cup, like the inside part.
So
that's
good.
really, really good, and I missed that. That's exactly what it tastes like in my opinion. But it's only 9 grams of total carbs for the entire 1,000-calorie brick. That's pretty ballin'.
How was squat day today?
How was squat day today? Squat honestly did not feel too hot on squat day today. I didn't hit my my heaviest set like I normally do. I don't know if it's because I'm tired. I don't know if it's because I need a deload week, but I did not hit my heavy set on squats. So I just did 315 for 6.
My leg day was great. Thanks for asking.
Forgot
the chocolate part. Ha.
Yeah, can't forget that.
Do you send to Australia? Are you taking any clients?
We do ship internationally. International shipping is kind of expensive though, and yes, we are taking on clients.
What is your opinion on tracking macros? A couple popular influencers have recently said it's useless, but I have a concern for those who want to lose weight and need guidance. Actually, Robert and I were talking about this earlier.
You about push the button. Should we unleash?
I don't have anything to unleash. I think everything matters, and I think that, okay, my opinion, I think everything matters. I was just telling Robert that during all of the time that I was trying to like heal my hormones and everything, I am now eating way more. I am now eating way more than I was then, but I'm still losing weight. And it's simply because my body was in a very unhealthy place, and I finally got things to reverse, and I'm now eating more food, and I took it very easy with my exercise, so it's not like I've gained a ton of lean muscle mass, but I've been able to increase my calories and still be able to lose some weight, some body fat, because simply I am in a healthier hormonal state. However, if I have a goal in mind, there is absolutely zero way I could possibly get there without tracking my macros. I might be able to do that, but it would take me probably years in order to do so, to build muscle, to lean, or to lose body fat, to do any specific type of goal that you have in mind. A lot of these people do not have specific goals in mind, and that's where we're very different. We put ourselves out there as athletes and for performance. So if you follow a lot of athletes or people who do work out and use it for performance, use their nutrition towards their performance, almost every single one of them will be tracking. So that's my bit.
I'm not going to be too mean. All I'm going to say is this. You can absolutely reach certain goals. You can absolutely be healthy, be metabolically sound and healthy without tracking macros, without counting calories, without doing stuff like that. There are people that can absolutely do that. However, if you do have a specific goal, or if you have not yet reached your goal and you've tried everything in the book and you're not seeing the progress you want, and you're watching some influencer tell you to not track anything, you don't need to, it's all nonsense. That is literally the equivalent, the nutritional equivalent of an ostrich sticking their head in the ground and saying, there's no problems, there's no mistakes, I'm not gonna look. It's stupid. You can't do that. I mean, calories matter, macros matter, fuel intake matters, metabolism matters, hormones matter, sleep matter, training matters, it all matters. Mm-hmm. So to just turn a blind eye and say you don't have to do any of that stuff, it doesn't matter, you're just being ignorant. So that's me being a little bit mean, but that's just the truth that people need to hear. That does not mean that you have to track those, but certain people, if they have not reached their goal, they need to track those. I mean, there should not be a negative thing. It's just data. Use the data, manipulate the data, make the data work for you. It's not good or bad. It's just data.
Yeah, there is a little bit, because as I was saying earlier, within the last couple of years, I've been trying to work on healing my hormones and such. And that was a question. And I was able to lose body fat as soon as I started taking a little bit better care of myself. So you absolutely can. You can get places without tracking. I did have someone who was messaging me today who was a little distraught because they didn't understand why their body was hurting and all of this, and their keto. But they kind of maybe know how much they're eating, and they kind of maybe think that they have high fat, but they're not really sure. And that's where tracking can come in very handy. If you have, the more information you have, the better you'll be able to take care of your body. And if you're in a very healthy place and if your body's feeling really good, you don't have to go crazy with it if you don't have more goals in mind and if you're just living a very healthy lifestyle. But if you do have goals or your body doesn't feel good or you're trying to understand things, that's when it would be better to have more information, and more information being exactly what's going in your body.
Boom. I think there's a question over here.
Yeah.
There's a question over here too.
Okay, let me go for this one first. For weight loss, do you think it could be used? I know it's simple. It might spike insulin, but it really helps with my sugar cravings without adding too many calories. It is so easy to fit whey into my macros.
So I think could whey be used?
It doesn't say.
It says whey in the latter part. So yeah, you could definitely use whey. You wouldn't want to like rely heavily on whey. Like you wouldn't want whey to be your primary source of protein, and it would be good to pair it with a fat so that it's not going to spike your insulin as much. So yeah, I would do that. So we got a question here. Oh wait, quickly. Ashley says, perfect answer, Crystal, about the fat on steak being more satiating due to it being a solid as opposed to a liquid. You wowed me.
What are your?
You keep skipping my question.
Sorry.
I've read I should do a higher calorie day one time a week with approximately 300 calories above my daily caloric goal. What are your thoughts on that? My goal is weight maintenance. So are you basically at maintenance and then having one day in which you're taking in 300 calories? Or are you in a deficit and then trying to have one day at 300 calories to maintain?
Yeah, a little bit more information would be helpful, kind of like where you're at on a regular basis. And if you're at a deficit trying to work your way up, or if you're at a maintenance and then still having to do a refeed.
Yeah, but either way, I think a refeed can be beneficial for sure.
Yeah, and just having a day that you have a little bit more freedom to eat extra rather than having to, go crazy with it every single day. What carbs do you guys eat, and what do you keep your intake at?
So our total carbs are pretty much always below 20 grams total carbs. Sometimes there's 0 grams of total carbs. Sometimes we'll have some vegetables, not very often. Crystal more so than me. Most of my carbs come from the trace amounts within the keto brick, which is coming from some protein, like some peanut butter, depending on the flavor, some flax, depending on the flavor, some nibs, depending on the flavor. So very, 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 very minuscule amounts of total carbs.
Yeah, like right now I'm having lettuce with it's like a taco bowl, but I have a little bit of lettuce in there, and I'm having a little bit of keto brick, and then I have a little bit of yogurt, and yogurt has a little bit of natural sugars in it too.
Macros for goals.
I agree with you. Thank you for your valuable input.
Well, thank you.
Not
mean at all?
Okay, good.
It is an ostrich that sticks their head in the sand, right? Was it a peacock or is it an ostrich? I think it's an ostrich.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, let me know.
Got on your late. So sorry if you've already been asked, but how is your dad doing on his keto journey? I did have someone ask, but I don't mind re-emphasizing. They had like a bunch of family stuff going on the last couple weeks, and I didn't really want to bother him. So I'm going to try and get on a call this week and see if I can't even do like a Zoom call with him and maybe try to record it for you guys so that I can put that into a future YouTube video.
Boom.
But he seems to be doing good. I think I explained he had a little bit of health complications as soon as he got back home. So it's been a little bit teeter-totter, but he's doing pretty good.
It's hard to put a finger on problems when you don't have the data to look at.
Yeah, that's
True that. Whey. Yeah, she's asking about whey. So yeah, you can totally use whey. Just kind of use it in moderation. Like I wouldn't use it as your primary protein source. And if you do use it, then I would pair it with fats. So like if you're doing a whey shake, then maybe put like what you do a lot of shakes.
I really enjoy shakes. And it's not the best protein option. I try and get most of my protein from meats and eggs and things like that. But if I'm going to choose to do a shake, then whey is a really great option, or just making a shake with collagen. So also a really good option too.
You can also like mix the whey with some eggs and make like a pancake. I used to eat a ton of those when I was doing like bro dieting. It's pretty lean, obviously. And then I put a bunch of peanut butter on top, which made it less lean.
I do add a lot of fat to mine. Like I'll do like a nut milk, and then I'll do like maybe like heavy cream or coconut cream or like whole milk yogurt or something like that to fatten it up to not to just have the protein with water.
All right, so she says I'm at maintenance weight now. So yeah, the good thing about, just to reiterate for those that did not hear her first part of the question, she's at maintenance weight. She's thought it is good to have 1 day a week where she's at 300 calories above maintenance. So I always recommend not trying to just maintain, like have a goal, because you don't ever really maintain enough. I mean, you're not getting any younger, so you're either getting better or you're getting worse. So being at a little bit of a surplus 1 day a week is only going to be advantageous for your ability to like have enough of a surplus to build a little bit of muscle. So try and pair that higher calorie day. So like you could do legs, for instance, is probably going to be a more intense exercise. So like do legs, and then the day, and then after you train legs, have that 300 calories surplus that day or something like that. That way you can kind of make use of those extra calories.
Yeah. I have trouble sleeping with anxiety and have been taking melatonin. What is your take on melatonin and keto? By the way, same here. I'm having so much issue sleeping lately.
Really?
It's the worst. And I know it's all due to anxiety and like just stress. But Robert's played a lot more with melatonin, but I can tell you other things.
We'll go ahead and tell them what.
Okay. The other things that I would recommend that generally work well for me is like the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Laying in bed and just you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you release through your mouth for 8 seconds. That does help to lower your heart rate and kind of get your body into more of a calm and relaxed state. You might sound a little crazy. I don't think Robert's even noticed. You could also play a little bit of like meditation. He got a new alarm clock, but at night it like slowly lowers the light, and I ask him every night to play the waves because it just like has waves, but it really just helps me to relax. And then also, I'm sure you're already doing this, but maybe staying away from computers and lights and things like that. Like about 2 to 3 hours before bed, and staying away from any stimulants, anything that's going to raise your heart rate and give you a little bit more anxiety.
Yeah. So melatonin is a hormone, and you don't really want to do a whole lot of messing around with your hormones. However, you can use them strategically. Like a lot of people, if they're flying a long distance, they'll kind of like have a bolus of melatonin when they get off the plane to kind of reset things, so they can like not have as much jet lag and get to sleep. And that's okay. I think in like finite instances like that, it makes a lot of sense. However, you don't want to become like dependent on melatonin and use it every single night. So I'm not really recommending that. Jim just popped in and said try GABA.
Yeah, I used to
that
use
would be good.
GABA Calm. Alan Miller has it's just like a chewable tablet. It's GABA Calm, and I took 2 of those, and it was very helpful. It just really helps to calm you.
Yeah, so I would probably not recommend consistent melatonin use, but what I do is I'll take a cold shower right before I go to bed, or a hot shower, kind of depending. I mean, both have the pros and cons. But simply taking a shower before bed, and then like cooling the house down makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And then also, we just got this Acupressure mat.
You want to grab it?
Well, I put it on my 7-Set newsletter. Basically, it's just a mat. They're pretty cheap, but it's got like all these little spiky things in them. And it's basically the same concept as acupuncture, except it's acupressure because you're not actually inserting a needle into your skin. But laying down on that for like 10 minutes, it's got this weird warming sensation, but you could like feel all the stress like leave your body, which sounds really frou-frou and like I'm a hippie or something, but it's pretty cool and seems to work. And the 2 times I've tried it.
I've been like goo gaga over that mat until he finally got it. So I've only gotten on it twice, but I'm really excited. I want to use it for the full time tonight.
Have you guys ever tried magnesium before bed? Yeah,
yes.
Magnesium before bed's good too. Like 500 milligrams should do the trick.
500. Goodness.
It's not that much. 500 milligrams of magnesium?
I don't take that much. I think mine's like 350.
Yeah, I mean 350 to 600.
But there definitely are differences in the types of magnesium that you take too, and what it's mixed with, and you can even do like some glycine with it as well.
Yeah.
Those are very helpful tips too.
Yep. All right, y'all. We need a question for next week. So whoever submits the next question will be next week's starting.
Wasn't there like 2 questions that popped up last week? Like, oh, we'll do that one this time and the next one. Maybe that was
I thought we
another
did that
week.
time before. So somebody submit a question because I can't cook my steak until we know what the question for next week is, and I need to cook my steak.
I'm about to jump on another live.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shoot the bow too. So question time. Come on, somebody submit a question. Come on, the keto road. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just said the keto road because he's just trolling my questions here. You know, you got a question, bro. Throw one at me, man. It's probably type right now. Go cook.
All right. Well, maybe we'll think of something for next week. A pretty good topic. We'll think of a good topic.
Yeah. Steak and bow. I miss you guys. Not that I can hit anything.
Yeah. Maybe a building.
So the last time Jonathan was here and we were shooting the bow, he got he shot a tree, so the arrow stuck in the tree, and he's trying to pull the arrow out of the tree while standing in front of the arrow. So when he pulls it out, the momentum carries the arrow forward, and he stabs himself in the leg. He literally shot himself in the leg with a bow and arrow. Kind of.
Someone asked if we had any tips for stalling, and we actually just did a live on that a couple weeks ago. So if you go to Keto Savage,
we did?
Yeah, like how to break a stall.
Oh, I don't remember doing that.
This guy.
Sorry.
If you go back to his page, you can go to the center little icon, and it'll take you back to all the lives that we've done, and it is in one of the most recent weeks past.
Jonathan says his Indian name is Man Shoots Tree Than Himself. Yes. I think I gave him that one here. All right, y'all. Well, we'll just have to come up with a question.
Yeah, we'll come up with a question.
So we love y'all, and we'll see you next week. Ta-ta for now.
Oh, wait. They have a good topic.
Okay. I have a good topic. High-intensity training on keto without carbs.
What? We just talked about that.
We just talked about that, bro. That was this video. Come on, Jonathan.
Get out of here. Okay, bye.